Well, here we are, the day before November 17th, 2020.
The hell are you supposed to be?
My vengeance.
What's going on, my DC fans, and welcome back to another episode. This episode is going to be packed. You probably already know this, but if you do not, Zack Snyder did an interview with Grace Randolph just the other day, and he was dropping mad bombs. We're going to talk about all that, and plus what to expect from November 17th, tomorrow, one of the biggest days of the movement in 2019. If it wasn't for that day, a lot of people think that we wouldn't be getting the Snyder Cut, and we are, because we all banded together and we created a huge trending event. First big takeaway from the interview is Joker new look. All right, so we heard this, or I heard this previously before, that the Joker, Zack Snyder's Joker, was going to look different. I know a lot of people are taking that as you're going to see scenes of Jared Leto before he was in Suicide Squad. A lot of people are thinking that the tattoos aren't going to be there. I'm not sure if Zack said that in the interview or not, if his Joker was going to have tattoos. But a lot of people are speculating that that's going to be the case, so they think it's going to be before all the events of Suicide Squad, before he got all those tattoos, maybe before he got his teeth busted out by Ben Affleck's Batman or whatever. I seem to think the opposite. There was something that Grace said, and it could be a mixture of both. It was something that Grace said about when you look at this character, it looks like video game, like he's straight from a video game. I took that as him being in the nightmare scene. I'm thinking of a Jared Leto Joker in a nightmare sequence with long hair and just, like I said before, like a metal costume, just like metal armor all over. Just looks absolutely insane. And I did also read an article saying that he possibly won't have the tattoos in the future nightmare sequence, which is again very interesting because this is the same Joker from Suicide Squad. In the future, he would still have the tattoos. That part doesn't really quite make any sense. But anyway, yeah. But apparently he's going to be in all 4 episodes. So you're probably going to get flashbacks of him before the tattoos, and you're probably going to get him in the nightmare sequence, which I really hope he will be in that, with a longer hair look and all that jazz. And I can't wait. So, I mean, time will tell. We'll see eventually, and it's going to be fantastic. Next topic, Toby Emmerich. We found out from Zack that Toby Emmerich gave him the call and asked him if he would be willing to, finish the Snyder Cut and do all that. A lot of people might take this and say, oh, maybe Toby's on our side now. Toby was the one that made the call. He's the one. Here's the thing. Toby didn't make the decision. The higher-ups, AT&T, those guys made the decision. He was the one that made one of the phone calls. And Zack got plenty of phone calls. Maybe they told him to say that in the interview just to save face, because a lot of people hate Toby right now. So maybe they're like, Zack, can you just say this about he gave you the phone call, blah, blah, blah. It's a business decision. If it was up to Toby Emmerich, we wouldn't be getting the Snyder Cut. Okay? But it's a business decision. They told him, AT&T, they wanted this thing done, so they told Toby to make the phone call probably, and he did. And it all comes down to money as well. I mean, these guys are snakes, and they'll do anything for money. So we see that fans are crying out for this Snyder Cut. So maybe Toby at the same time was like, okay, I'm all for it. I might have screwed Zack over in the past, but now it looks like we're gonna make a lot of money off this thing. So who knows? I'm still not on the Toby Emmerich bandwagon, by no means, but just wanted to put that out there. This goes back to Joe Manganiello and Jared Leto, Ben Affleck, Ray Fisher, all of these guys, even Ezra Miller, we'll talk about that in a second, but all these guys that came back for the additional photography, what all do they have in common, right? What scene could they all share? And I'll tell you what that scene is. That scene, again, is the nightmare sequence. This is another reason why I think that Jared Leto was doing nightmare sequences. He was doing photography for that. Because if you know anything about that, you know that you're going to have Batman is there. We saw him in BVS. He's there. You're going to have Cyborg, a broken Cyborg. Again, I'm throwing kind of spoilers out there, but I'm sorry. But this is just what it is. A broken Cyborg, Flash. Because, again, nightmare sequence, the only way they can change the events is because of Flash. Flash will go back and change the timeline. Also, there's been a lot of speculation that Deathstroke will be there with Batman and also Joker. So, again, all these actors, what do they all have in common? Henry Cavill's Superman was not there, okay? Even though he is in the Nightmare sequence timeline, but maybe they filmed all that. I do not believe Wonder Woman did any additional photography. No, I do not think so, because she was doing another movie. She was doing Red Notice, so she's not there. What do all those actors have in common? The Nightmare sequence is what they have in common. So I definitely think they were doing some stuff for that, which is, again, very exciting. But let's get talking about the whole Ezra Miller situation, because I just mentioned his name. We find out another cool tidbit. We find out from Zack that they filmed stuff via Zoom. Well, it wasn't, they weren't filming using Zoom. Zack was watching and telling, because Ezra is, I guess, in London doing the Fantastic Beasts 3. And Zack needed some pickup shots. So it's kind of cool they had Zack there on the Zoom call, and Zack would tell him how he wanted everything laid out, and they would film that for him, and they would probably send it back to him. I think that was really cool that they did that. Very interesting, and definitely with the times that we're in right now, instead of Ezra just getting on a plane and missing a day or two of filming, he could go back and, you know, do a couple shots for Zack and then go back to... Can't do that, because now with filming and everything, you have to be quarantined for at least 14 days, and it's a big headache. It's very cool they did that. Interested to see how those shots are going to look, and maybe later on the line, Zack will show us what shots they were, and go, oh, okay, because it might look a little different, because, I don't know, but it's going to be interesting. One of the last things I want to talk about, I got one more thing. One of the last things I want to talk about is the big one that came out of this interview was the 4 minutes of extra footage. This, again, a lot of people might like this. They might not. I know that I was thinking they were doing like at least half an hour to an hour of additional photography, but it turns out it's only 4 minutes. The reason being is because Zack filmed like 5 hours of this movie in 2016. So that's why they didn't have to add much. And a lot of people, all the haters, the John Campions, the Jonas Corner, all these other people, the Colliders, saying that, oh, he's changing up the movie. He's adding so much different stuff, and that's not fair, and changing up the movie. And he's adding 4 minutes. All these people that said, oh, this movie was never complete. Zack filmed everything. This is additional photography, which turns out 4 minutes. That's nothing. 4 minutes. Now, 4 minutes can add a lot. It really can. And I want to talk about that as well. A lot of people, oh, 4 minutes doesn't really do much. If you're ever watching a show, a season finale especially, sometimes the last 4 minutes can change everything. A lot of big moments can happen in the last 4 minutes. So I think that's great. I think that he is putting out his original idea, and he's sticking to it with a little bit of additional stuff, which is great. He didn't change much. I think that's awesome. I think that shows how confident Zack was in this movie and what he wanted. So at the same time, if he wanted to change up an hour of footage, I'd be completely down with that. But it just, again, it shows that he's confident. He wants the original Chris Terrio script out there, the original vision. He even said that. He said literally he can do whatever he wants. This is great. There's no one's going to be no focus groups. He said right from the original script onto the screen, no changes at all. This is 100% Zack Snyder, which you've never probably seen in any movie that he's done. 100% Zack Snyder's work completely. Can't freaking wait. All the haters out there that said this is going to be different. No, it's not. This stuff was already filmed. Again, for the last time. The movie was done. He's adding stuff. Okay? So just stop with that narrative. He literally just torn that narrative down. He just tore it down. Anyway, guys, last thing I want to talk about. Last thing is tomorrow, the big day, November 17th, the trending event. Hashtag Us United. I'm not on Twitter, so I will not be doing that, but I know all my soldiers out there will be donating money to suicide prevention, which is great. I think there's a bunch of competitions going on where you could win something from Zack and so many great things. But the big thing that's coming out of tomorrow is the trailer is coming back. The trailer they took away, and I think this is all set up. I think the whole them saying that it was because of music, that's all bullshit. How many times have you seen a trailer have the rights taken down because of the music? Come on, there's something more to it. This was all set up. This is unprecedented what they're doing with this movie and the advertisements and all that stuff, the marketing for it. So they took it down. They said they're going to bring it back. And Zack is going to do a watch along, and he's going to explain everything and talk about all the shots, which is awesome. And I think possibly a Q&A afterwards. I mean, this is why Zack's the man. But he said there's probably going to be additional footage in there as well. Grace Randolph said that, additional footage in there as well. I'm thinking it's a whole new trailer. You know, maybe it could surprise the hell out of us. Maybe Zack will show you the full trailer first. It will be a completely new trailer. Get us all by surprise, and then he'll start it over and he'll explain what's going on in all the shots. Or maybe it could be the original with a different score or different music and additional shots added into it, and Zack will talk about all that stuff as he goes along. Me personally, what I think is going to happen is it's going to be the original trailer that we saw already, and then at the end, he's going to release another trailer. That's what I think is going to happen, and hopefully at the end of that trailer, there's going to be a release date for this damn first episode. The last thing we're waiting for is a release date. Oh my God. Such an exciting last couple days, and it's not stopping. November 17th is right around the corner. It's tomorrow. Huge, huge day. Cannot wait to see what Zack himself gives to the fandom. It's going to be fantastic. So anyway, guys, that's the video. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, please become a Patreon supporter, because that helps me in return. I can help you. And as always, guys, I'll see you next time.